Day 19 of the 44-day challenge. I'm Scott Duke inside the Wellstand studio, and another day of getting the information out on how to sell your business to you guys where it's best utilized. Today's book review is on how to sell your business and get the best price for it by John E. Sampson. Okay, knowledge nugget number 1, intermediaries. Most books we're reading cover business brokers, they cover intermediaries and why they are good to have in the deal. In this book, John touches base on why you do not need one and gives 2 reasons for that. Number 1, when you have a thorough understanding of the process of selling a company. So if you've been through the process of selling a company before, you know the ups and downs, you know all the steps, you may not need an intermediary. Number 2, when you have a good outside accountant or lawyer who has negotiated several similar sales and can advise you on all the phases of the selling process. So again, if you have another advisor, then you may not need an intermediary. He does touch base on the fact that your lawyer and your accountant may not be the best people to negotiate your deal or put together an offer of memorandum. So that's a caveat there. Anyhow, those are the 2 reasons that you may be able to avoid getting an intermediary in the selling process. Knowledge nugget number 2. What happens if you get no offers? You put your business out there for sale, whether you put it online or you're working with an intermediary and they're doing the hustling in the background for you, but no offers come forward. Well, this is something that may likely happen as 80% of businesses don't sell, so there's a high probability of this occurrence. What you want to do is number 1, don't get frustrated. Sometimes it takes multiple years to sell a company. So don't get frustrated, and then second, refocus. And what you need to do is refocus on your financials and your profitability of your company. This is what buyers care about most. So it's likely if you're not getting any offers, they're out there, the market's saying, not quite enough profit, or price is a little bit too high. So focus on those things over the next year, year and a half, and really tune your company up so that it will be attractive to the marketplace. The third thing is you can do an employee share option plan. So you can sell your company to your employees. You likely will not, in fact, you almost guaranteed will not get the same price as if you go to market with it, but it is a way of transferring the ownership of the company when there is no interest in the market. Knowledge nugget number 3 is on performance contingencies. When you go to value your company and you say, in the future, we're gonna do these fantastic profits, and the buyer's a little bit skeptical and they say, well, maybe, but I don't wanna pay for a maybe. I wanna pay for basically certainty. So I'm gonna value those future profits a little bit lower. And you're gonna have this discrepancy and disparity between what you think your company's gonna do in the future and what the buyer thinks your company's gonna do in the future. This is almost guaranteed. So how you can bridge this gap is through performance contingencies. Basically saying, if the company hits these profits, then at a later date, I'm gonna get a future payout. If the company does not hit these future profits, then I will not get this future payout. And what John says is extremely important to remember is what you base that criteria on. So is it on revenues? Is it on the income at the end of the day? And how is that gonna be measured is very important. And this quote can save you future pain. For these reasons, sometimes a seller will prefer to base any contingency payment on sales of the acquired company product lines, perhaps the number of units sold rather than their dollar value. So what he's saying, because what could happen is you say, okay, we're gonna base it on X amount of income. And then the new buyer then puts a whole bunch of extra expenses into the company and the income comes in lower. And you get screwed. So you don't want that to happen. What you want to do is just base it on the number of units sold, because that is a number that it's hard and fast. Great tip, knowledge nugget number 3. Our first quote is on representations and warranties. And John states, I believe that second only to the stated price paid for a business, a seller should give his most serious consideration to the representations, warranties, and indemnification he makes in a definitive sale agreement. Be careful of what you agree to in your sale agreement. Go over it extremely thoroughly. And what John is saying, once you agreed on price, when you're looking at that purchase and sale agreement, make sure you heavily go over the representations and warranties. The biggest takeaway from John's book, How to Sell Your Business: do not be deterred if you don't get an initial offer when you go out to market. That is the time that you redouble down your efforts, focus on profitability, focus on getting the performance upgraded in your company, and take it back to market in a year's time, and you'll see more action. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow on the 20th day of the 44-day challenge. I look forward to it. See you then.